Most of the time, when people talk about the origins of economic ideas, they always go to the same names: Adam Smith, Karl Marx. Maybe those who are a bit more curious will also add Aristotle. But there is a truth we often miss, a truth that Western history doesn't really tell. Nearly 1,000 years ago, long before capitalism and central banks existed, a Muslim thinker gave a warning deep enough to help us understand almost every financial crisis we experience today. He said this: "When money loses its moral dimension, societies begin to rot from the inside. And when you look at what we're living through today, it feels like he understood us far better than we think. This is the hidden ledger, where money, power, and history collide. And here nothing is ever as simple as it seems. To understand al-Ghazali, you need to imagine a very different world. The year is around 1100. Europe is fragmented, poor, and still struggling to emerge from the darkness of the Middle Ages. But at the same time, the Islamic world stands in a completely different place, a vast geography stretching from Al-Andalus to Persia. Wealthy cities, lively markets, advanced trade networks, Baghdad, Damascus, Cairo. These are not just cities, they are the financial and intellectual centers of their time. Caravans carry silk, spices, silver. Scholars debate philosophy, law, medicine, and astronomy. Money is flowing, trade is expanding, and society is changing rapidly. And in this world, Abu Hamid al-Ghazali appears. Philosopher, jurist, theologian, but more importantly, a thinker who asks uncomfortable questions. He reaches a very prestigious position at a young age, but that's not what makes him special. What truly sets him apart is that he questions what is happening around him. He observes his society and feels that something is wrong. Yes, society is getting richer, but something is off. Money is increasing. Markets are growing, but meaning is disappearing. A system that looks strong from the outside is rotting on the inside. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? So Ghazali asks this question: what happens when a society becomes rich before it becomes wise? While searching for the answer, he focuses on money itself, and this is where many people are surprised. Ghazali does not deal only with religious matters. He studies how money affects human behavior and social order. For him, money is not sacred, and most importantly, it is not something to be worshipped. Money is just a tool that allows people to trade, produce, and cooperate. He even compares money to a mirror. Just as a mirror has no value on its own and gains value from what it reflects, money is the same. And from this he reaches a very clear conclusion. Hoarded money is dead money. Wealth locked in chests and kept out of circulation does not benefit society. On the contrary, it suffocates the economy. It doesn't reach workers, it doesn't grow trade, it doesn't sustain people. Ghazali describes this as the freezing of society's blood circulation. If money doesn't flow, life stops. And this is not just about individual greed. There is a systemic problem. When the rich pull money out of circulation, artificial scarcity is created, not because resources are gone, but because the flow is cut. Prices distort, markets collapse, and people suffer. From here, he moves to criticizing speculation. Ghazali strongly condemns those who profit from crises and manipulate prices. In his view, this is not intelligence. It is moral decay. It is making profit from others' harm. And such behavior is contagious. Once it spreads, it poisons the entire system. But to be clear, Ghazali is not against profit. He is not against trade. He is not against wealth at all. On the contrary, he believes honest trade strengthens society. The problem is money gained through deception, lies, and manipulation. Markets only work if there is trust. And when trust disappears, the economy collapses. He also has great respect for labor. He says that money earned through hard work strengthens a person, while money earned through manipulation corrupts them. This is not just a moral judgment, it is practical thinking. Societies grow with people who produce and weaken with those who exploit. Ghazali also criticizes states. In his time, rulers were reducing the quality of money, creating hidden inflation. In today's terms, we could call this quietly stealing from the people. Ghazali openly calls this theft because it destroys trust, and it hits the poor the hardest. According to him, the state's true role is to protect the market, not manipulate it. Rulers who play with money for short-term gain destroy society from within, and history shows that this is exactly what happens. Ghazali's conclusion is very clear. A society can survive poverty, but it can never survive corruption. Economies don't collapse because money runs out, but because trust runs out. When people stop trusting money, institutions, and leaders, the system falls apart. Money itself is ultimately a matter of belief. And when belief disappears, everyone starts looking for escape routes. When you look at today, you realize how familiar all of this sounds. High debt, speculation, growing inequality, loss of trust in institutions. If Ghazali were alive today, he probably wouldn't be very surprised. His sharpest message was this: if you separate money from morality, the system will eventually collapse. This is not a sermon, it is an observation of reality. Money is not just a mechanical tool. It is an ecosystem shaped by human behavior. And when the moral foundation of that ecosystem collapses, the financial structure collapses with it. That is why Ghazali is still relevant today. Because while technology and times change, human nature does not. And even if history does not repeat itself exactly, it destroys those who fail to learn from it. If this gave you a different perspective, don't forget to subscribe.